Hi, this is Ryan Martin, and this is my presentation for EDL 854, gifts to students or staff. First, let's define what are gifts. Those are personal goods or services purchased with school funds. They should be governed by a set of guidelines, and school money is not to be given away. And then we keep public opinion in mind when purchasing those gifts. So a general rule of thumb is that anything someone can take with them is a gift. If it's to stay with the school or in your classroom, it is school property. So we got to be careful with what we consider gifts, and it needs to be something that is useful to your classroom. And just be careful with how people perceive the gifts that you're giving to teachers or students. That can be kind of a slippery slope sometimes. Gifts to students. There are two types of gifts. There are fundraising incentive gifts. I remember at our school we had a fundraiser where the kids could earn different levels of gifts. In fact, my kids have earned those gifts. They're only given to the kids who are participating in the fundraising. So, for example, we had one where it was if the kids sold 5 items, they got a little helicopter toy. So they only got that. The gifts should be purchased with the money from the fundraising event. You should not pull money from other funds in order to give students these particular gifts. But most of the time, I believe that the person in charge, we had PTO in charge of that, kept track of the students and who was part of that and who raised the money. So just make sure that the monies from the fundraising is how you purchase those gifts. Special achievement gifts should be nominal in value, so just a small amount. Funds may come from the general fund, a donation, or athletic funds. Again, lots of times we give out athletic awards like medals, achievement awards. So those are fine. We just want to make sure that they're for the specific event that they were in. And they're not something, we don't want to give out big awards to one person and not the other. So we, especially for like a state championship game or something like that, but they can come from different funds. We just have to be careful with the size of the gift there. Special occasion gifts to staff members. Anytime we have these type of gifts, we need to have a committee, and the staff members should be on that committee. They should meet at least once a year and have procedures for managing those funds in writing. This is called a remembrance fund. The money should come from that, and a lot of times the staff members will donate to that at the beginning of the year. I know every school I've ever been at, we usually donate $20 or $10, and these are for special occasions, like someone has a wedding shower, they have a birth, they've bereavements, they've have a death in the family, and so that committee takes those funds and uses those for those special occasion gifts to those staff members. Fundraising incentive gifts. Staff members may receive a gift. They're part of that fundraising project. So, for example, the person at our school that coordinated the fundraising event, they can receive like a T-shirt, or maybe they were some other type of gift. Again, those gifts have to be subtracted from the profits, so they need to be kept at a reasonable cost. You don't want to take all the profits away from them and give them a gigantic gift. So, just something simple would be appropriate in the fundraising gift. All staff gifts. Now, I think every school I've ever been at, we have something like this where it's, the example is a staff T-shirt, where every staff member is given a T-shirt at the beginning of the year. I think usually they find a pretty good deal on that. So the cost is nominal, and it's paid for with generated funds or donated funds for all staff members. Again, it benefits the whole staff. They should be useful gifts, inexpensive. So like a staff T-shirt, we always did wear that shirt on Fridays, but at the end of the day, it's something we took home, and I've got several of them from the beginning of the year. That's just one possible gift. I think one year we got a blanket with our school logo on it for going to football games and such. Be careful with cash or cash equivalents because those can be considered wages and they can be taxable. So you got to be real careful there with gift cards and things like that because technically we are going to have to report those to the IRS, and that may not be exactly what the staff would like to do with their money. Maybe they just rather have a T-shirt. Special efforts for staff or students. We got to again be careful. On occasion, schools will collect money for a student or a staff member, someone maybe who has been in an accident, or maybe they're raising money for a trip or something. The money received can be considered wages, so we have to really think about who's handling the money. And it suggests that it's best to have a parent or community organization coordinate those fundraising efforts. If it goes through the school, then those again could be considered wages and therefore can be taxed. So got to be really, really careful with how those are handled. Probably ought to consult your principal or your district. This has been my presentation, and I look forward to seeing everybody else's.